So welcome to part 3 and the final part of my England talent scouting mission. Have a look at the first 2 parts if you haven't already, where I rank in tiers 1, 2 and 3 all the English qualified talent that I think is close to England in the 10 Premiership sides. These are the top tier players, the tier 1 players that I would have no problem putting in right now. And it would look a bit like this: Loosehead, Ellis Genge, Finn Baxter, Joe Marler, Valrapava Ruskin if he can ever get himself fit in time for England. That's probably the kind of order I might put them in, although if you want a big scrummager, maybe you'd put Marler first, but definitely Genge, Baxter, Marler, a good 3 looseheads. We need to develop these props like Baxter so he could learn a lot from Marler and Genge. Jamie George, Theo Dan, Harry Thacker, they're the 3 tier 1 hookers. I know Thacker's a little bit small, but Dan's not massive either. Both very explosive. Jamie George, the man in charge there. Theo Dan, probably the second choice from the World Cup, so he would be the understudy. And there you see our first kind of slim pickings at tight head. The only guy I put there at tier 1 was Aaron Painter, because he's got so much potential to be a destructive international scrummager that sides are going to be scared facing. And again, second row, very slim pickings there on tier 1 second rows, ready to rock and roll. Itoje, Ches and Martin. I'm pretty sure those 3 will be the 3, if not more, second rows in the Six Nations. I've put Tom Willis at 6 because we need a 6 to replace Laws. I think he could be fantastic. You could play Lewis Ludlam, but he is leaving to France next season, so I think Willis is probably the man there. But again, a little bit slim, although some of those 7s could play 6, and goodness me, there's a lot of 7s, even though Tom Curry is injured and Jack Willis has gone to France. Ben Earl, Sam Underhill, Tom Pearson, all playing fantastically well at the moment. Any of those 3 could start easily. And Guy Pepper, when he gets himself fit for Newcastle, he is the guy coming up on the rails. Loads of 8s as well. And the 3 tier 1 talents that I saw were Alex Dombrandt, Chandler Cunningham South and Zach Mercer. Mercer probably the back of the queue, injured at the moment. Alex Dombrandt really knocking on that door with his amazing performances for Quins, although he hasn't quite done it for England yet, but maybe this year he will. Although you could of course play Ben Earl at 8 as well, and Chandler Cunningham South is the talent coming through. Could be a little bit early for him, we will see. And which 9 do you take? Goodness me, I don't know. Mitchell's got the shirt, but I could start Spencer, War, Kerr or Randall. Any of those guys I would start, no problem whatsoever. Who do you take? Which 2 or 3? Please let me know. The 3 tier 1 fly halves now, Owen Farrell is not available, and Marcus Smith, George Ford and Finn Smith. Marcus Smith, this is his time. With Owen Farrell not in the picture, he needs to cement that number 1 starting spot, although George Ford is going to be very close with his experience, but I think Smith is showing his all-round game. That'll be fascinating to see how Borthwick goes there. Of course, you know, my school of thought, I'm a Smith fan, but happy with Ford as well, and Finn Smith as the understudy. On the wings, I've got Henry Arundel, Caden Murley, Anthony Watson and Tyrone Green as my only kind of tier 1 wingers. Do you pick Arundel even though he's only available for this Six Nations, and then he's going to be playing his extended contract in France? I don't know. But Murley, Watson if fit, so do you go Tyrone Green and Murley, or do you go with Arundel, or do you play one of those other guys on the wing, maybe from fullback? I don't know, so maybe a little bit slim pickings there at 11, but certainly a lot of speed. 12, the only tier 1 12 I think is Manu Tuolangi, although we may well see Ollie Lawrence playing 12. He prefers 13, but there is the problem there at 12 as I've highlighted before. But at 13, great news. Tommy Freeman, I think, has found his international position, has got the skills and the speed of a back 3, but I think he's going to be a perfect 13. Big, strong, skillful, just like Will Joseph. Those 2, I think, are going to be absolutely top quality 13s. And if you want a super skillful, experienced 13, you've still got Henry Slade as well, performing very well. The 3 tier 1 15s are very interesting. In speed, you'd probably go Josh Hodge the quickest. Obviously, he's injured at the moment, but Josh Hodge the quickest, then Hendy, then Stewart. In size, you'd go Stewart, Hendy, Hodge. Hodge has got a great kicking game, as does Stewart, but maybe Hodge the best kicking game is a really interesting one there. I think any of those 3 could be the England 15 going forward. So that's England's tier 1 talent as I see it. England's form team might look a bit like this. Just to finish on, let me know what you think. A few players maybe to come back in from injury like Ben Earl, but that would be a good team to go out with. I'm a bit more excited than I was at the beginning of the Premiership season. I'm seeing some talent really coming through. Let me know what you think. If you do like these sorts of videos, please consider subscribing and liking. That would be amazing, and I'll catch you next time.